Welcome back, GlamFam. It's your girl Angela Denise, and I am here with you today with a getting ready with me makeup tutorial. And today we have a wide variety of products here, mainly focusing in on Juvia's Place. I have the Juvia's Place foundation, concealer, loose powder, and their new Nubian 3 Coral palette. So if you want to see how I created this look, just keep on watching. Alright, GlamFam, I know you guys want to know what shade I am in this new foundation. So I do have 3 different shades here, and I'm going to swatch them on my chest, allow them to dry down as I'm doing my eyeshadow. And today we're going to be using the Nubian 3 Coral palette. We're going to go ahead and swatch lightest to darkest based on Juvia's Place numbering system. That is Nairobi. Next up is Ethiopia 400. This is 350 Somalia. And this is 340 Kampala. Alright, so this is what they look like. 4 different shades. I've got a combination from neutral to golden neutral, so I'm going to allow these to dry down and oxidize and work on my eyeshadow. I'm going to go ahead and take my L'Oreal Full Wear Concealer. I don't like this under the eye, but I do like to use this as a primer for my eyelid. I'll go in with my Morphe M532 brush and the Nubian 3 palette. I'll pick up this color here as my crease shade. Then I'll take the color right below it in my MAC 224 blending brush. And then blend. I'm actually going to go in with this shade and pack that on with my finger. I'm going to take this pointed crease pro brush from Sonia G and take this nice rich brown color to deepen up the outer corners of the eye. Back in with my MAC 224. Alright, so to finish this off, I'm going to take this color and put this in my tear duct area. So now let's get into the foundation. So honestly, at looking at these shades, these two, this one, this is Ethiopia 400. This is definitely too light. I could use this probably in the winter time. Kampala, this is 340. This is too dark. So honestly, my best bet right now is Nairobi. I'm gonna prep my face with the Tatcha the Silk Canvas. Now I'll go in with the primer that I love to use in my oily areas, in my trouble area, the MAC Skin Refine Zone primer. And you need very little of this primer. So this is not my first impressions on this foundation. I actually filmed another video, but I had some technical difficulties, which is one of the reasons why it hasn't been posted on my channel as of yet. But the good thing is I do now have the loose powders so that we can talk about those as well in this video. Alright, so I think we're ready to dive in. I'm just going to spray my foundation brush. And lately I've been liking kabuki brushes to apply my foundation. This is the Morphe M439 brush. I do have some of the foundation on the back of my hand. I'm just going to pounce into it and then just stipple that on the face. Because I have it, I'm just going to take a little bit of, which one is this? Somalia, and put it in on the center part of my face. So this is a matte foundation. This is matte. This is full coverage. Period. It feels lightweight on the skin. I truly have no complaints about the foundation. So, thoughts on the foundation, well, the color. I do love the foundation, okay? But the color, I'm having a hard time figuring out which one will look the best on me. I do kind of feel like Nairobi is a little bit too dark, but then I think that if I put Somalia all over, it might be a little bit too light, and Kampala is definitely too dark, and then Ethiopia is just straight up too light. So we'll work with what we have, okay? You guys weigh in down in the comment section and let me know which shade you think will be more appropriate for my skin tone. Alright, so the concealers. So I do have two shades. I have the shade 12 and the shade 13. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of 13. And I already have thoughts on the concealer as well, because this is not my first time using it. Not my favorite. It creases fast. So that's what I've experienced so far. I don't know if everyone has this type of situation with this concealer, but so far for me, it creases just as fast as the Fenty Pro Filt'r on me. So for that reason, I can't really sing high praises about the concealer. I mean, the texture of the concealers are good, but it just creases on me. But we'll see how it pairs up with their powder, because whenever I tried it initially, I can't remember what powder I used, but it might have been a Chanel powder that I used, so I don't know. Going back in with a little bit of 13. And I'm just going to allow that to dry down before blending it out. Let's go ahead and repeat this on this side. The concealers actually do also oxidize, just like the foundation. So today we're giving this concealer a second shot because the first time I really didn't have a good experience with the concealer. It did crease on me really bad, but we're going to give it a second shot. I do have 2 shades of the Juvia's Place loose powder. I have Sahara and Kalahari. Sahara is the light beigey banana color, and this one is the deeper banana color. I'm going to go in initially and set the face with the light banana powder. Technically, they say that this one is suitable for, I think, medium skin tones, and then Kalahari is suitable for tan to dark skin tones, which is what I am. Alright, making sure there aren't any creases to start, and I'm going to set. With just a little bit of powder. Alright, so we are set. I wanted to go ahead and go in and set this as soon as possible. So now that I've properly set my under eyes, I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my face. And then we'll go back to the under eyes to see if we've creased or not. So for the under eyes, I'm going to take, this is a flat brush by Morphe. This is a Morphe M432. I'm going to take that chocolatey maroon brown color. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take that pointed crease pro brush from earlier and basically connect the bottom and the top of the eye just by blending it out. Then I'm just going to take this same brush and pick up that orangey color that we used earlier in the crease and finish up the under eyes like so. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to bake a few places with Kalahari. Then I'm going to go in with this powder brush and go back into Sahara. And bake right up in here. and that is just going to add brightness to the face. I will also bake here. And here. To add some definition to my face, I'm going to use my Sculpting bronzer by Physicians Formula. I'm very strategic with the placement of this. I keep it right. I try not to go past this area where the tail of my brow ends. I want to concentrate the sculpting powder in that area. Then I'm going to go into the lightest shade, the Sahara shade, and I'm going to reverse contour because I want to add some brightness to the face. Alright, what I'll do is go back in with that Morphe brush that I used to do sculpting and soften that line of demarcation up. Alright, my xoxoxoxoxo powder brush, I want to dust away the excess of the reverse contour. Now, for one of my favorite pieces of this video, this is the Prime Beauty bronzer, and I have two shades. I have the shade Glow Coast. You can kind of see the reminiscent Pat McGrath packaging. I also have the shade Bronzerville. So let me show you both. Now, I have not used these powders yet, but I'm sure they're going to be everything that I've hoped and dreamed for. But I will tell you guys that bronzer, well, yeah. I will tell you guys that I was actually kind of disappointed because both bronzers, this is what happens. They both fall out of their packaging, and that is the only thing that I was kind of disappointed about. So today we're going to use the shade Glow Coast because I want to reserve this one for a giveaway, and this is Bronzeville. So I've been using the Sephora number 59 brush here recently. This is again Glow Coast. These are beautiful bronzers. I really must say that despite the issue with the packaging, I love it. The texture is great. And the bronzers are really deep. There's one that's deeper than this one. I keep forgetting it's broken. There's one darker than this one. It's called Chocolate Liddy. For blush today, I am going to be using this e.l.f. Luminous Bronze Blush. This blush is so pretty. Basically, I am blending everything out on the face. I'm going to go ahead and pick up a highlighter that I haven't used in a long time. Remember the Pro Sculpting Duo by Makeup Forever? Well, this is the shade 02. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of this and it's probably still one of my very favorite highlighters of all time. It is so beautiful. Alright, so going in with my Chocohoro powder brush, I'm just going to take a little bit of my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, just a little bit, and I'm going to use this powder to finish the face. Finish, buff, whichever technique that you are familiar with. That's what this is. So this is almost the finished look. I'm going to hop off camera and put on my lashes and my mascara. Today for my lashes, I'm going to be using the Lily Lashes in Hollywood. And then we'll come back and we'll do lips, and that'll complete today's look. Okay, so we are back. The lashes are on. The makeup is really settled into my skin. I overall do love the way my complexion looks today. It's very nice, very flawless, very lightweight on the skin. However, I do have a few things to say about a few things that I used today. But first, let's go ahead and put on lips. This is Cupid's Kiss. This is the Becca lipstick that I hauled from the Sephora Memorial Day haul. This is a neutral tone nude. I went ahead and purchased this one because I love this formula. The other shade that I purchased maybe like a week or two ago, I'm going to put that one in a giveaway. So I'm going to take this. I like it. So yeah, I do like this color as well. I'm just going to take a little bit of the Rosewood by Sephora lip liner just to define the outer corners of the eye in my Cupid's bow. It is like really pouring outside. I don't even know if y'all can hear it, but it's really pouring. This is the finished look on today. I really like the look. But first, we need to talk about the products that we use today. The new products only, or products that I have not shown on my channel in a while. So we'll start off with the new Juvia's Place Coral palette. This is the Nubian 3. So I do love the colors in this palette, but it doesn't overall, maybe the bottom two rows, but this top row doesn't it doesn't scream coral, these grays, although they are beautiful. I would like to mention that this color that I applied very first on my eye, I don't have the names and all of that stuff right here, but this color wasn't as pigmented as I would expect from Juvia's Place. However, this color and this color were amazing. These were amazing. I applied this color all over my lid with my finger, and this color here to my inner tear duct, and I thought that they were beautiful. So I would say overall that I like the palette. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10, simply because I didn't find it as pigmented as other Juvia's Place palettes, and the cohesiveness of the palette really didn't make sense to me like these colors. Like, this should have been up here. This should have been down there. And the palette should have just had these 2 rows of color in it. So, but overall, it's an okay palette. And my look came out good today. Okay, what else? The Juvia's Place foundation. I am going to give the Juvia's Place foundations an 8.5 out of 10 because I had a hard time finding what my shade is, and I still really don't think that I have a shade. You can see that we did swatch 4 different shades, and I ended up wearing the shade Nairobi with a little bit of Somalia in the inner portion of my face. So I don't really think that I have a shade in this particular foundation. However, Nairobi suited me the best. You guys weigh in down in the comment section as far as the shades based on the swatches that I showed earlier. So yeah, I give it an 8.5. She's thick, but you can apply a thin layer on your face. It covers up blemishes really well. It looks beautiful on the skin. It is lightweight for a thick foundation, so that's definitely a few of the reasons why it gets an 8.5 from me. Now, the concealers. These concealers are going to be a no ma'am for me. I mentioned earlier I was going to see how the concealers look at the end of this video, and I looked a few minutes ago and I already have creasing up under the eye, just like I did with the Fenty concealers. Now this problem may not be an issue for other people, but for me, this is my second time testing the concealers, and this is a recurring problem with my Chanel powder that I set it with originally, and really thundering outside, and also the Juvia's Place loose setting powder that I'm supposed to pair it with. So for those reasons, I'm going to give these concealers a 4 because I can't use it if it creases. Maybe I can use it, I don't even think I can use these as a lid primer because I have lines on my lids, so they're going to do the same thing as they did under my eyes. So yeah, the Juvia's Place powder. I had 2 shades, Sahara and Kalahari. I think it's an okay powder. This is not going to be a powder that I reach for because she's a little bit on the thicker side. It's not as a finely milled powder like Laura Mercier, or even as fine as the Maybelline Fit Me powders, the Chanel powders. And in addition to that, it's not a translucent powder. These powders will leave cast on your face. So you just have to really make sure that you're using the appropriate shade and not using a lot of powders. Both of these shades will work for me for highlighting, but not an all over face powder for me. So I can use both of these shades up under the eyes. It did okay, but you have to be careful because it will look cakey because of how thick the texture on these powders are. So I'm gonna give the powders a 7. Prime Beauty bronzers. I'm gonna give these bronzers a 9 out of 10 simply because the issue that I had with the packaging, both of these powders fell out of its packaging. This was the very first time me using these bronzers. Other than that, I love the texture. I love the quality of the bronzers itself. I love that these are great shade ranges for dark and deep skin tones. The one that I use today, Glow Coast, I feel like it would be one that would work for people between NC 42 and NC 47. Like, that's my skin tone. So between NC 42 and NC 47, Glow Coast would be appropriate. And Bronzeville would be appropriate for NC 50 and darker. So yeah, I really like these bronzers. Tatcha the Silk Canvas. I have used on my channel before, but I do want to officially rate it, for me, a 10 because I love the texture. I love the way it makes my skin feel nice and smooth, and I just love everything about this primer, and I'm really glad that I decided to pick it up. So this is going to be a 10 for me. This is the Becca lipstick. This is the Chloe Malika collab. This one is in the shade Cupid's Kiss. This one was 50% off a few weeks ago at Sephora. This color is a great color. It's a little bit deeper than tawny. Still a great new color. I absolutely love it, and I'm very glad that I picked it up. All right, so that is going to wrap up my mini review session. I hope that you guys like these types of videos. I do plan on doing more on my channel. I'll have another one of these coming up in about 2 weeks. You guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I will be hosting a giveaway at some point this month. Any day now, pretty much any day now. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that you're interacting on my channel for your chance to win. And that is going to wrap it up for today's video. I will see you next time.